Hi guys, this is Ranjit and this is a new series that I'm starting called Real User Reviews. And guys, the problem with us as reviewers is that we generally don't use one smartphone for a very long period of time. For example, currently I'm testing this Motorola Edge Plus, but after 2-3 weeks I might be using some other smartphone. So basically my review is based on that 2 or 3 weeks of usage. So I've started this new series called Real User Reviews where I interview a user who's actually using a particular smartphone and what does he feel about that particular smartphone, what does he like about that, what does he hate about it, and stuff like that. So coming out from a end user's perspective, and I hope you like this series. So here is the first episode. Hi guys, so here I have Vinayak with me, and have known Vinayak for some time via Twitter. Couple of years.
Yes.
So I came to know he was in Hyderabad, so invited him here, and he'll be our first guest for this Real User Reviews. And Vinayak, I believe you're using the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus, right?
The S20 Plus, yes.
So this is your primary smartphone. Before I talk about that, I have a couple of questions. I just wanted to ask, prior to this, what smartphone you were using?
Before the S20 Plus, I had the S9 Plus.
So you're a Samsung fanboy? Huh?
I did shift to LG in the middle, but mostly Samsung right now.
So okay, so you already had the S9 and you used it for almost 2 years.
Yes.
So this is the first question I have. What was the reason that you opted for this S20 Plus?
Okay, so the thing is, my S9 Plus had some problems with the camera because of some water damage internally.
Okay.
So I was thinking I have to change my phone anyway. So there was a chance of exchanging the phone from the S9 Plus to the S20 Plus, and you get a like 25,000 rupees off.
Oh, acha, so you got it in an upgrade.
Upgrade kind of a, yes.
So let's say, this is a very peculiar question, I didn't have this. So let's say if that option of upgrade or whatever was not there, would you have gone to some other device?
At the moment, actually, when you really look at it, I was with all the features that I'm used to on the Samsung, I think I could not very easily shift to another brand.
Okay.
My wife has the OnePlus 7T,
okay,
which I bought for her because the S8 Plus that she had, like, which was my phone, which went to her, but that started acting up. The S8 Plus started acting up, but I didn't like the cameras on the
OnePlus earlier. Yes, I know the cameras were not that great.
So I always want something that is all-rounder. Like, it's not the best in everything, but it is kind of an all-rounder.
Okay. Yeah. So that was a very generic, diplomatic reply, Vinayak. You can be very whatever you want to say. You don't like it. Be very open. I want it to be open. Okay. But okay, if I have to ask you, what were the 2 features that compelled you to go for this apart from any other brand? Because in Android we know we have so many smartphones. Just think about it. 2 features. What compelled you, or you thought, okay, this is so great?
Okay, one feature which I use a lot is, let me see if I can show you this. This is the Samsung Pay that you have.
Oh, okay. So I understand that.
I'm so used to this.
I understand.
I forget my wallet. At least I have Samsung Pay to pay for anything. This was at a time when Paytm and all was not actually still active.
Still, I would say Samsung Pay I can completely understand, because when I was using the Fold, that Samsung Pay is one feature that I use so much.
Yes.
What about anything else? Did you get my curiosity, because it's a new device, did you get influenced by the hype or some feature or something like that?
See, the processing power, I think for my kind of usage, I don't game. Okay. And I just check my emails and I check standard stuff. Like, I'm just going to be browsing. So having Exynos 990 on this, I don't really need that kind of power.
Okay.
But it's still like a flagship. Like, okay, like it is a flagship phone which you generally want to carry around, and you have that Samsung. What I feel, it has that stability or the quality maybe.
So you were not, because I know about 2-3 months ago Samsung was running that marketing hyper zoom and all that, nothing like that.
Not at all, because one would have gone for the Ultra, because
it has even more, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that digital hybrid zoom, even at 30x, this thing does not look good.
Up to 10, I would say, usable.
Yes.
After that digital zoom is there.
Yes.
Okay, that is interesting. So you were not hyped about it. I thought like people get.
And I also like the side that edge screen apps that you have.
Okay.
So you have that, you can, like, there are times when I have to type in a card number or something, I can just pin to screen.
This is because you were already using a Samsung phone, you're used to this.
Used to all this, yes.
Okay. Okay, because now I feel, now you have used this for almost 3 months?
Yes, 3 months now.
So I'm pretty sure every phone has something you feel has to be improved. Also, what is What are one or two things that you feel should have been improved on this device or could have been better?
Okay, one thing which I kind of have I hate kind of a thing is the fingerprint sensor. It is not perfect. Like
Ultrasonic, right?
Ultrasonic. And you have to get your finger right at the correct place, and it doesn't unlock perfectly. Like you have to hit it 2-3 times before it actually unlocks. So that is one thing which I I don't like about this. And the second one is that heating up.
Because of the Exynos, right?
Exynos, yeah. So it heats up quite a bit, and for normal usage also. And if you're putting it on a wireless charger, you can really feel that heat. And in my home office, I have a wireless charger there. I just dump it on that and start working. When by the time you pick
it up, obviously, wireless
very hot.
Very hot.
Yeah.
And okay, before we move ahead, Vinayak, just to give an idea to the users, you are a business person, right?
Yes.
So you don't game and stuff. So you own. What do you do exactly?
I'm into the software development. We have a software development firm, which is we do ad hoc development. So we have our clients who are mostly in the US, UK, Middle East.
So for you, a phone is an important business tool.
Correct.
Gaming is not a priority, I'm assuming.
And again, what I liked was the secure folder. So there I put all my office mails. It's secure. One more layer of security is there.
So that Knox thing is relevant to you.
Yes.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. Never thought about it. So yeah, makes sense for that. And in fact, as we were talking about the fingerprint scanner, because this one has ultrasonic, though yes, it's not as fast as in display, but this is supposed to be more secure.
Yes.
That's why the Samsung Pay authentication is also there with
using the ultrasonic. Yeah. So the thing is, like my old S9 Plus, I knew exactly, okay, pick it up and your finger is already on the finger.
So you still like the old fingerprint scanners, okay?
But now what's happening is when I'm picking up my father-in-law's phone and all that, I try hitting the fingerprint in the front instead. Then I remember the scanners at the back.
Now, I need to ask this because these days most of the flagships concentrate on cameras on this. And Samsung also initially when they were marketing this phone, camera-centric smartphone.
Yes.
So what do you feel about the cameras on this one?
The cameras are quite good actually. The quality of the photographs are quite good. The 64 megapixel mode when you try shooting, there's a
That's a pure 64 euro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you have the problem where that focus problem is there. Like you have to really keep tapping. And there are times even in the normal photo mode also, you're trying to focus on this, but it's focusing on something else.
Little bit.
So it happens once in a while. So camera is very good. Picture quality is very nice, and even that single shot and all that.
Single shot was interesting. I thought it would be gimmick, but yeah, I've used it once or twice. Didn't know what I wanted.
So I have a 4-year-old, so she keeps moving around here and there. So just take a single shot and just keep moving around with her.
Yeah.
So many different types.
And you get a video, you get a monochrome, you get that. So that was like. But have you ever played with the 8K video? It has that 8K.
I did it once
to just see if it works, right?
So
still I would say it's in the gimmick department right now.
Yeah.
8K?
Yeah, I think you even lose the stabilization when you
lose. So, but 4K, the stabilization was decent.
It's pretty good, yes.
What about the front-facing camera? Because this is one thing in earlier Samsung phones, the front-facing camera was, I also hubbed about it. But what about this one? Do you use the front-facing camera?
A lot actually. I use the front-facing camera a lot because my daughter half the time she's on my shoulder, so we are always and she wants to use those AR modes.
Achha, so there is one person I know who uses the AR mode. Finally.
So you have all those spaces and all that coming up on in the front camera. So those things she uses a lot. So the first thing she picks up my phone is for that.
Okay.
So front camera is used a lot.
So what do you feel about the front camera? Because Samsung used to smoothen the skin earlier. It used to look. But now what do you say about this one?
It looks normal actually. I think there's not much processing, I guess.
They made it for normal human beings. So you're happy with that.
Yeah. And I like that when two people come into the frame, right? It goes to wide also. It's
automatically. Automatically it does that. That's the small thing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this is an interesting thing. Let's say
one thing. Do other phones also have that hand gestures and all for the phone?
Depends on some models to models. Earlier, if I recall, LG had some gesture like this. But again, they patented. I think so. It's the Samsung's patent.
Yeah. So you put your hand out, or you can say cheese and
that cheese thing. Yeah, that's. Have you used it? I thought it was a total gimmick. I used it in earlier Samsung, but never tried it after.
I mostly use the hand.
Hand works.
So I keep it if you're in a restaurant, you put it on another table, put a glass over there, and you show your
timer.
Hand, the whole thing, everybody
timer comes. Yeah.
So that's a nice feature to have.
Okay, this is interesting question. Would you purchase this smartphone now again or recommend it to others?
If I want to recommend that's a little.
No, first question,
Will
will
I
you
buy it
purchase it
again?
again?
I think I would actually, because I wanted the upgraded cameras. So I think I would anyway.
You are in that other category who doesn't game, right? Well, one thing, Vinayak, I don't know because I keep testing so many phones. One thing I liked about specifically the S20 Plus is the weight.
Okay.
Though it's a big phone, it's not that heavy.
Okay.
You use
Yes.
iPhone and other phones.
Yeah. So I'm not much into iPhone at all actually. So
That is
I don't
one
know
thing.
about that, yeah.
Whenever I come back to this device, I feel that they have done it right, and that matters because you're carrying your phone every day. And I don't know about you, I always have to carry two phones, so the weight matters.
Yeah. So you have the dual SIM in this. So, but what I'm doing is I'm using the single SIM and one for memory card. So I can't do the dual SIM anymore on this phone.
So do you carry two phones or just one?
I
phone?
carry one phone. The other WhatsApp also I've just linked it to this.
Okay, got
so
it.
I don't have to carry the second phone.
Okay. Will you recommend it to others?
At that price, I think it's according to the person.
Yeah. Let's say he's okay with the price. If the
he's-
person has a budget of he's buying a flagship, so you know,
No.
a person buying an iPhone, he knows that budget is right.
Yeah. So so if it's a person like that, I would have no problem. Actually, or for the S20 Plus, like I would say the Ultra is still a hyped kind of a phone for me.
Achha, you were not in that 100x zoom. Here also, as you mentioned, you never use that
30x is
just for okay, it works. I tested it. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So gimmicks department.
gimmicks department. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing is, this is one thing I personally didn't like with the new S20 series. The 3.5mm headphone jack is missing. So, what are your thoughts? How did you get used to it? What are you doing?
Okay, so what happened was on my S9 Plus itself, I had already moved to wireless earbuds.
Okay.
So I was using the Jabra Elite 65Ts.
Okay.
So by the time I came to the S20, I have.
Achha, you were
I
on.
can continue. And then the S20 also had that offer running, right? That 2,000 rupees you can get the Galaxy Buds Plus.
You get that free. But
So I was in the right time, so I could get that also.
so now you got used to what do you say the wireless. So
and this comes with the USB-C wireless, like the earphones also. So
yeah, you get that 8 kg one.
but in case you forget any of those at home, then you'll have to pay a big price for USB-C earphones or wireless earbuds.
I personally, because I have a lot of Bluetooth headsets, but the only thing is there's one more thing to charge. I keep forgetting smartwatch, this, that. So many times I have so many in my bag. I have 2 or 3. Half of them are dead.
True.
So I get so irritated. So that is one thing I feel Samsung should have kept. I don't know, but as you are telling, people get used to it.
Yes.
But personally, I still miss it.
3.5.
I just started testing this Moto Edge. This is one of the rare ones that has a 3.5mm phone jack.
A lot of people also tell me like when they're putting it on the selfie sticks, and those selfie sticks have those 3.5mm
Correct, for the audio.
using the
Makes
audio
sense.
controls. You miss that. Like a lot of people.
Actually, yeah, for vloggers and stuff, it's a good thing because the microphones are good, but still outdoor.
You have to switch it on and off. Like how do you trigger that? But
So-
I think some of them have the Bluetooth triggers also.
They do.
Some selfie sticks.
Okay, how about because now Samsung has moved to the new UI? What do you feel about that one? Is it improved or do you see lagginess or something like that? Now you have used it for 3 months.
Okay, like on the S9 Plus also I was on one UI 2 actually. So and even before that I was on TouchWiz.
TouchWiz was like famous, yeah.
So now when I touch my old Note, like how did I even use this phone kind of a thing it was. But this UI, like UI 2.0, this is pretty good actually.
Actually, you like it. You don't miss anything.
I've been used to Samsung UI for a long time. So
No, how about the fluidity? Because in TouchWiz we used to get sometimes the jitters and stuff, right?
Correct.
And people still have that memory.
yeah,
Some people have that. Huh?
Yeah.
This one in the past 3 months, did it give you issues of lagginess or something?
there was no lagginess, but I don't know about the ghost touches are because of the screen or because of the.
Acha, that edge, yeah, obviously, the edge.
You suddenly something pops up here, like I didn't even touch that edge. So those kind of things happen.
I think so you use that edge apps, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But without that also, like suppose you're on Instagram or you're on Twitter, suddenly says share with so and so. Like I didn't click on share.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I think maybe because of this TPU case also, I'm using the case that comes with it.
I'm not using it with the case.
So
Maybe
maybe
it's
that.
the case.
But the thing is, even for my S9 Plus, like the case, it gets yellow a lot. Actually, it starts.
Yeah,
yellowing a
actually,
lot.
this is one thing I've noticed, not just for Samsung, even for other OEMs, I've noticed the case what they give. I'm glad they're giving the case. Don't stop giving the
Yeah.
cases. But the quality is bad. They become yellowish after
Is
4 or 5
Is it
months.
because its TPU has that this thing, or is
I don't
it
know,
the
man.
case?
They invest so much. Can't they make better cases?
At least give those kind of plastic cases which they're charging 3,400
No,
bucks for
no, no.
those
In
cases.
fact, I recall I had the S10 Plus also. That had a much better case. I still have that, and that didn't change color.
Okay.
It's slightly harder.
But I think they don't want to make
Make
it
it
too thick or something. The phone, I guess.
Maybe.
This is you can keep this as a temporary case where you are going to before you shift to another case. Maybe this could be an option, and a backup in case your new case breaks also.
But yeah, put a case, I would say, because
Of
I've
course.
seen this Gorilla Glass 5, Gorilla Glass 6 getting cracked. Whatever Gorilla, they eventually get cracked if you.
My S6 Edge Plus dropped and the screen cracked. I had to pay more than 15,000 rupees just to change that.
Very expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. This I think is 24 or 20.
Yeah, very expensive on these
Yeah.
ones.
But you have that 1 year warranty or something.
Oh, yeah, is that offer still there? Initially,
You
there
have to
was-
pay 1,000, 2,000 rupees or something.
Okay, fine.
But I didn't do it yet. So I'm very careful with my phones.
Another question. Again, most of these modern flagship Android phones are having that 90 hertz, 120. This one has that 120,
120.
and even the quad HD. So, does that quad HD or that 120 hertz make a difference? Because you have been using it.
Okay, I'm using the not WQHD,
Full HD.
Full HD Plus or
Okay,
something that is
FHD
there,
plus.
right? And with 120 hertz. I honestly can't notice the 120 hertz. How many other times I try, I can't.
So, do you think it plays with your head? Okay, I have that.
It is there, it is on, but
I'm happy.
It's there. Until unless I see some other phone and really feel the change, the difference between the two. I mean, I'm not sure.
Okay. So, mostly you've been using it at 120. You didn't go back to the 60.
I've not done 60 on this yet.
So, how's the battery life? That brings me to the question, how's the battery life?
A day max.
So, your full working day, you don't have to plug it in the middle?
Maybe in the evening actually, not
You
per
have
day
to
also.
plug it.
Yeah, plug it in the evening. Yeah.
So, if I talk about screen on time and stuff, how much do you get? What's the usage? Rough.
Maybe 4-5 hours.
4-5 hours is the average. Okay. So, mostly calls and
Emails, calls, Twitter.
Okay.
Almost everything, all social media on this only.
these days we do that, right? Okay. As we have already mentioned, Samsung Pay is an important thing. I feel that is one thing that differentiates other Android phones from this.
Because the biggest plus
Specifically
advantage is
in
you
India.
use it on the older credit card machines instead of having that wireless.
Okay. So let's sum it up. If you had to give feedback to Samsung, one or two major improvements or change on this phone, what would that be?
Okay, one is the processor actually.
They should have gone with the Snapdragon.
Because I don't know, like are they cost cutting and then giving it to us
Yeah, must
because
be.
of that?
Must be.
But the thing is, we feel cheated in a way because the Snapdragon variant is.
We know it is there, right? We know
there
it is better.
It is better. Yeah, you charge us this much, you charge a little bit more. We are ready. We are already paying so much.
Yeah.
We are ready for it. Okay, but. Anyway, again, the Snapdragon, again 5G and all that, we don't need that. So that's also maybe a problem. That's why maybe they didn't put it onto this.
But as we know, other people are getting. So I also felt that if they would have gone with the Snapdragon one, it would have been great actually, because most of the other flagship Android phones are going with that.
And another one is I have seen on other Samsung phones that the memory card is separate and dual SIM slot is separate. So that would have been, at least I'll have dual SIM and extra memory. That also would have been a nice thing.
So yeah, you miss a dedicated SD card. And how about, because India they are pushing mostly the 128 gigabyte storage. So how about the storage?
So mine is 128 and I have another 128 gigabyte SD card also. So
and do you think that will be sufficient for you?
More than enough, I guess.
And last couple of questions. How long do you think you'll use this or plan to use this one?
Maybe 1 or 2 years at least.
At least.
Yeah, because next year again the problem is Exynos, they're going to release with the AMD graphics.
Yeah, it's very new.
Yeah, so if that comes out, it might make me think about it. But even though I'm not a gamer,
okay,
just to have the feature kind of a thing, maybe it will help in mobile editing or something like that with that AMD GPU in it.
Okay, so you're looking forward to see what they do. So overall, I am getting this sense that you are mostly satisfied with this phone.
Yes.
Apart from one or two issues that you have mentioned,
Yes.
the processor could have been, and gaming, as you told, you don't do that.
Yes.
Because I feel if you do a lot of gaming, it will heat up like crazy.
For normal use, it's heating up. So just imagine gaming.
So anyways, Vinayak, that was very thankful for your actual user insights about this one. And guys, I hope you liked this first session with Vinayak. Vinayak, you also have a Twitter handle, right? What's your Twitter handle?
It's the Vinayak Nair.
Okay, so I'll leave that in the description, guys. Anyways, guys, you guys let me know what do you feel about this real user reviews, and I'll try to do more in the future when I can do the same. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. And thank you, Vinayak.
Thank you, Ranjit, for having me here. Thanks. Bye. See you.
Bye.